Can I have my money back, money back, money back? Can I have my money back, please, sir? Don't hear what you're saying, don't care what you're doing. Can I have my money back, money back, money back? Can I have my money back, please, sir?
This is Eiad.
Hey, Eiad, this is...
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, good. So, I guess you know why I called.
Yes, be honest with you, I was just wondering how come, nobody, really look into this ABAT, why it takes so long? I guess already give you a lot of information.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, most U.S. investors do not conduct the level of research that we conduct. We conduct a very, very, very deep level of research, and most investors just do not do that. And that is why something like this could have persisted for so long, in the same way, perhaps, that Madoff stole money for years and years and years before he was exposed.
So your company is one of the investors?
No, we are not invested in this company. We analyzed the company because we were considering investing in the company because we have invested in other companies in the energy storage space, such as a company called Active Power. So as a result of that, we were looking at other companies in that same space, energy storage. We stumbled upon this company, ABAT, and began to dig into it. And the more that we dug and the more that we dug, the more we saw red flags.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we've been researching this company now probably for 2 months, and through that process, we've kind of redirected our efforts from proving that or disproving whether this may be a good investment to proving or disproving whether this company is potentially engaging in fraudulent activity. And we think that we have sufficient information to prove that it perhaps is. And we've spoken to many people just like you, and we do intend to submit our research package to the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Okay.
So that perhaps this company, they should be investigated. I mean, they're coming over here and they're raising money from
investors.
That's right.
Yeah, and if anytime you need me, I can be your witness. The reason is why I know a lot of information. I talk to Fu. I don't have any record in paper because he only speaks Chinese. I have my Skype record. Calling him, how many times we spoke during time his transition. After he talked to me, I know so much information about the factory he bought the Wuxi Anju because when we was doing business with Weekend USA, I talked to the Weekend company in China. I spoke to, because all these people only speak Chinese, I spoke to Weekend USA. They said they claimed their Weekend group is a part of the company. I went to there, I spoke to the thing. They said they have nothing to do with Weekend USA. So Weekend USA is basically just a one-man show. Mr. Dao Ping, he's the one.
Do you think that he's in any way related to Wuxi Anjiao or to ABAT?
No. What happened is, Anjiao, the factory, anything you export to United States, scooter, car, there's a standard you need to be documented to the U.S. Heavy Department. Also, they need to get something proof from China Motor Department. I spoke with the China Motor person. This factory is not legally, they should not produce. They are registered to make a bicycle.
They're registered to do what?
Bicycle.
Bicycles.
Yeah, they don't have the export right to USA. They don't have anything to make anything to export to North America, period. Now,
they are, though, selling. We know that they are selling some auto cycles to, for example, we spoke to a distributor in the net. It's called Sikambi in Europe. So I know that there are people out there that are distributing Wuxi Anjiao auto cycles, and I wonder then where they're being manufactured or who's manufacturing them.
They buy some license. They do not make anything at the Wuxi manufactured location to export to anywhere.
I see.
There's the factory, this guy who owned Baojin, who owned this Anju used to be, he borrowed the license from somewhere in Taizhou. So that's how he gets the business. He can export. The Anju factory does not qualify to generate a VIN number to anything to export. That's according to my conversation with the Chinese Automotive Standard Institution in Tianjin.
Right, I see. Okay.
They borrowed someone else.
They borrowed somebody else's. Right. Okay, so do you have any idea how Mr. Ping, why he decided to do business with Wuxi Anjiao?
He told me a story because he become when this thing happened, he think I'm his friend. So he told me original this battery thing, this Baojin was have idea. Then he personally lent him money, and he get another investor from Taichung area. This lady, I met her. She lended Andrew a lot of money, maybe over 100 million RMB. So that time when they think Ping doing the scooter business, he think this company can put something together. Once he lent the money, also the other lady lent Wuxi Andrew the money, he wants to get his money back. Of course, he thinks this will work, but they do not know. Nobody did like. I called everybody in China. I find a person. I get all my thing. I called everyone. I want to make sure this factory, we're buying it is legit.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They didn't tell me at front. Original, they don't know. Ping don't know either. So when I talked to this, after I informed Fu, I spoke to the China Auto Standard Institute. This Wuxi Andrew, you could not have export right. You don't meet the standard. He knows that time he was buying. He said, I just want to get the investment money. Then I'm going to use this to make something else. So he fully aware of the factory. He will tell me he just buy for the land and the building.
So he told you that he wanted to do that to get U.S. more investor money.
Yes.
That's interesting, all right. Now, you said that you spoke with him a lot on Skype. Do you have anything that perhaps would be useful for our purposes in those telephone conversations that you could send me?
I can find the Skype record a few years ago. I don't know how long I can go back to history, my record.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything in paper. Everything is just with Skype.
Right. Yeah, if you could do that, that would be wonderful. I mean, that would help us out probably tremendously. If you could go back and look and see whether you have those records and whether there may be anything useful for us within those records.
Okay. This record is shows how many times I spoke with him. That's all the record shows.
Okay. I wonder if we can figure something out with how Skype works. I'm not very sharp when it comes to Skype.
Only because I don't know this through Skype. This is like a voice. I don't know the storage is. So the plus is 2-3 years ago. It's back to 08.
Right. I wonder if maybe it stores it. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. So you approached and you said, hey, listen, we want to sell these autocycles. Let's establish a company, Vegan Scooters, and we have someone who's going to supply us, Vegan USA. But it turns out Vegan USA is not at all affiliated with Vegan Group. Now, do you have anything that would show that indeed Vegan USA is not affiliated with Vegan Group?
After I spoke to the VP of senior VP, they sent us a letter. Said he should have the letter in our file. He will email to you tomorrow. I told him to find out the email to you tomorrow.
Okay, so you spoke with a little while ago?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I asked him for that as well. That would be great.
Because after calling them out of the blue, they were so mad. They said this person have nothing to do with that. They sent us a letter.
Right. Interesting. Now, let me ask you this. Like I said, we're going to be submitting our entire package, almost a portfolio of research to the SEC. And I was wondering if you would mind, going on the record. If so, if it might be possible for me to record this telephone call.
Yeah, I don't mind going on the record.
Okay.
Because during that time, I almost contacted SEC by myself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What would drive you to do that?
Because I know, in fact, they hired some accounting firm out in New Jersey. It's Chinese. He told me verbally. He said he just want to cook his stock price up. That's all.
That's what Fu told you?
Yes.
Right.
After he talked to me so many times, I told him this factory you buy is not worth anything. He told me he just want to buy for the land, for the building. So I said, then I was shocked. I said, how come you can get an investor for that?
Yeah, that's shocking. I don't know if you've noticed as well, but what happened is that we took a look at the filings that they file with the SEC, and those filings indicate that Wu Xiangjiao generated in 2007 $5.8 million in revenue, and then in 2008 $3.3 million in revenue, and then in 2009, after ABAT took over Wuxi, they have it generating $22 million.
I saw that they made the news. That factory didn't produce the factory before ABAT took over. Have not in production for maybe a year. They own so many debts.
Right. Huh. So I wonder how they're able. I wonder what they're thinking in terms. They think that this. When I speak with ABAT, I've spoken with them. Okay, they tell me that this auto cycle business for them is something they look at as a high growth area. And we do, in fact, know that there are some distributors of these Wu Xiangjiao cycles.
In the United States?
No. No, not in the United States. I believe there's one in India, there's one in the Netherlands. We did have conversations with one called Sikombi in the Netherlands. We just don't know how they could get from $5 million or $4 million in revenue in 2008 to $22 million. Imagine that jump, $4 million in 2008 and then $22 million in 2009 for Wu Xiangjiu.
They only have one production line. One production line. It's impossible for them to make that thing. To produce that 22 million, they may be like working day and night.
Right. You know what? When I spoke with Dan Chang, the VP of Finance, last Thursday, he told me that in 2010, they shipped 90,000 autocycles. He told me 3 times they shipped 90,000 autocycles. Even that, though, doesn't match the production capacity figures that they cite in their SEC filings. In their SEC filings, they say that Wuxi ZQ has 4 production lines within its manufacturing facility with the capability of expanding production in response to demand. It says the production lines currently manufacture 20 types of vehicles, and each line is capable of manufacturing 100 vehicles per day.
I spoke with the team the weekend USA guy. He called me in last 2009. Yeah, he called me on Christmas. I was asking him how the thing going with the thing. He said, oh, they are just, right now he just tried to get the money back from whatever Andrew owned him. I said, how is the factory? Everything good as they do? He said, oh, everything changed, but nothing in production.
But nothing's in production, right.
He be in the factory. I took his word. He don't need to lie to me about that.
Yeah.
That's about a year ago.
That's about a year ago, right.
Yeah.
So I guess then perhaps they're not producing as many autocycles as they say. Perhaps then they're distributing somebody else's autocycles.
I don't think so. I've been to a lot of autocycle manufacturers when I was in the business 2 years ago. So they have a few big ones. You know, these small people, whatever the big ones, they make their own parts. They have their own distribute channel. They don't need like Fu did mention to me he was using some company in California. How does the name come up? Somebody in California. Electric car, electric scooter, something. He would tell me he sold him a lot of battery.
I did, through an internet search, come across a website.
There also was a news announcement as well. He started something with this dealer in California.
Oh, okay. Perhaps it's Zap.
Yes.
Okay, what about Zap?
He was saying, he said he signed some contract with Zap. He tried to make a scooter for them. So we looked at Zap. I think whatever they make doesn't even meet the standard for United States. I don't think this company, what I can find, I don't care what they say on the paper. There's a record if they export through the Chinese custom. You can find a record how many things they ship. That thing they cannot allow. Because once that's official record, when you go export stuff to any country, Chinese customer or forwarding companies, they have this record. When they made the news announcement, they say it was 22 million. This very thing shipped from Anzio. I told them from how to do it, everything. They even don't know how to file the paper.
Mm-hmm. Right. Is there any way for us to access those records to see how many cycles, for example, that Wuxi shipped this year?